Yes, people, we are back live. We are back live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube for another Manchester United Arsenal show. So please make sure you keep all your comments or your questions, Manchester United and Arsenal related. Big up to everyone in the chat already congratulating in regards to the channel going over 8,000 subscribers. So salute to all of you lot, man. Gotta big up the audience, man. Big up all the Sarcasm citizens, everybody who's supporting the channel. We have now gone over 8,000 subscribers. So it is rolled to 9,000 subscribers. So make sure you hit that like button on the video. So important you do that. Hit that like button. Share across all the social media apps you are active on. Follow me at That's Me Flawless, at Sarcasm City TV across all socials. And on top of those two things, subscribe to the channel Sarcasm City TV as well. And when you subscribe, please make sure you hit the notification bell. It is rolled to 9K. I see Eddie in the chat already saying roll to 10K. We gonna get there, people. So you lot just continue to support in the manner in which you have already. I can see people in here. I know to congratulate in regards to the 8K. Again, much appreciated. And of course, the Jadon Sancho situation. Cam can't make it on, but he will be back next week. And I did want to get him on with our special guest who's been on the channel multiple times before. Man like TJ is in the building as well. Yes, TJ, what are you saying? You good?
Yeah, man. And, you will be the last person to acknowledge it, but you are literally the hardest working guy I know on YouTube. So big yourself up every single time. Congratulations on the 8K, bro. It's sky's the limit. You're going to be holding plaques very soon. So I'm not worried about it. Again, thanks for having me on, man. I like I was saying in the back, like I would love to have a show with Cam. Big fan of the show prior to being on it. So, yeah,
gonna make it happen, 100%. Because that was my plan today. And shout out to Cam people. He's got some stuff to sort out tomorrow. He's blessing everything. He just got some stuff to sort out tomorrow, so that's why he couldn't make it on. But he will be back on next week, and you'll probably see him on the Q&A as well. Before we get into all things Manchester United, because it's gonna be Jadon Sancho. That's what it says in the title, people. Jadon Sancho training alone, pending resolution of a squad discipline issue. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't even know what that means, but we'll decipher that. And of course, Arsenal face Everton as well. I was typing it. I was like, that's why I put it in quotation marks. But we move. Warrior J, I see you already in the chat. Also, don't worry, man. I'll star everything in regards to Jadon Sancho. I'm very, very sure the vast majority of the questions will be about him. So we'll get there. Big up to Sheik every single time. Says big up. Congrats on the 8K once again, bro. Well deserved. Well deserved. Just wish we had some positive Man United news to celebrate with. Hey, man. Amrabat, Hoyland. We might get a win. Who knows on the weekend? We will discuss that because Manchester United, lo and behold, people, actually are a football club and we have football matches to play. Even though we are on season 3, episode 7 of Keeping Up at Carrington, there is a football team in there. Don't worry about it. So we will be discussing footballing matters, people, actually on the pitch. Big up to Stephanie G every single time. Says big up Flawless. Many congratulations on 8K subs as well. Deserved. Continuous quality content, 9K next. Hey, big up to you every single time as well. Andy, I see you. Of course, my guy Eddie in the cut as well says hit the like, people. Road to 10K starts now. You already know. Warrior J says make sure you hit the like button, and on the way in, guys, when you're entering the stream, make sure you are. Melon, I see you. Big up as well. Large up to everyone, and shout out to everyone showing love to TJ as well. Make sure you subscribe to his channel, TJ Warren TV. Come one of the
appreciate that.
Please put the link to his channel in the comment section as well. LFC for the double. Good to see you here as well, another regular. So congratulations on 8K, keeping me entertained while I'm sleeping through a hurricane. I hope you're good, man. I hope you're good. And where are you, LFC for the double? That there is a hurricane. Let us know. I hope you are blessed and you and everyone around you is good as well. And to Andy, which season is it? It's season 3. Episode 7. That's where we're at with Keeping Up at Carrington. I personally have us at season 3, episode 7. That's just me. Some people might have us at season 4, others at season 2. I've got us at season 3. Money Lane, I see you as well. Says big up the content. Yeah, man, I'm glad you lot are enjoying the content. That's what we're here to do. Let's bump up these likes though. Over 40 people in here, only at 20 likes. So let's double that and subscribe as well, man. Roll to 9K starts now, people. And big up to Dan G says Flawless TJ. Yeah, you know them ones. You already know.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's get into it. So in regards to Sancho, there's two new pieces of information that have come out in regards to Jadon Sancho. One, obviously I mentioned in the title, in regards to Jadon Sancho is training alone pending resolution of a squad discipline issue. So that just means that he will be disciplined at a later date. And then reports have also come out, not sure how reliable these reports are, so someone please quote the source, stating that he refused to apologize to Ten Hag. Here's the thing is, I understand all sides. With Ten Hag disciplining Jadon Sancho, that I get. Fully understand why he has to discipline Jadon Sancho. I also understand why Jadon Sancho refused to apologize. Because if I was Jadon Sancho, I would have refused to apologize. I'm not apologizing for being right. That's just simply what it is. You called me out publicly, I responded publicly, and you want me to apologize to you. Not how it works. That's just me. That's not how it works, in my opinion. And I think people would have known, I know TJ would have, and others who have heard me speak on this, that would be my thought process on it. I'm not apologizing. Discipline him, cool. I understand, I'm not saying he shouldn't be disciplined, cool, because he's quote unquote unprofessional. But I ain't what's it called? I'm not apologizing. But yeah, TJ, you can give your
if I got dug out by my boss in front of the entire company, I don't think I'd be apologizing either. Especially when he really hasn't put a foot wrong this season. I mean, what is he? He hasn't really gotten a sniff. So like, why are and your other two right wings are going to be playing for Prison FC. So you're really going to throw your other one into the bin too. So now you're going to be relying on Pelistri for however long now. So really, I think this is kind of showing a little bit of a chink in the armor for Ten Hag amongst other chinks in the armor that other people could probably see. I think that, and this might be an unpopular opinion with United fans, I think that Ten Hag is putting in an absolute mare when dealing with this situation. Just eat it. Just realize that you made a mistake. You're not keeping things in-house, and eat it and let the guy come back to the squad. I really don't understand why this, if at the end of the day, the objective is what? To win football games, right?
Absolutely.
In your current squad, which is an absolute shambles right now, let's just have it right. Two wins, 2 losses for Man United at this rate or at this time probably isn't where a lot of your fan base would want. So who gives you the best chance to win? Sancho in that position at this point with Anthony out and another, let's be honest, a lack of options at that position. So, my opinion is look, you got to be able to field the team that gives you the best chance to win. And whether or not you are getting along with these players, Sancho gives you the best chance to win at that position at this current juncture for Man United. So look, I'd be saying the same thing about Arteta. I said the same thing about Arteta when the Aubameyang thing was going on. Look, and look, I get it. You're trying to implement a system. You're trying to be the boss. But at this point in the season, are you really in a position to be digging out a player that is your best option? I don't think so. That's my take on it.
No, and the thing is, that's fair, because I understand any criticism of Sancho, and I've said it before, and I say it again, on the pitch. I have not defended Jadon, and that's where people get it people get it confused and get it befuddled when they hear me talk about this situation and don't know what I've said prior. I criticized Sancho all season long last season. The live streams are there on the channel, people. Go check watch-alongs, go check Q&As, go check Man United playlist. It's all dated for you. Go check this show as well. It's all dated where you can see me criticizing Jadon Sancho for his on-the-field performances. All summer long, I banged on about how we should have got rid of him. That's on Manchester United. That's also on Jadon Sancho. I said it's not going to work here, because people have asked me the question and said, oh, do you think it's over for him at Manchester United? I think it was over before this. I think this just further clarifies what was already going to happen, because you hear reports about, oh, he's going to make a move in January. Why was this not sorted out in the summer? When you look at any of the wingers who have any success under Ten Hag at Manchester United, they had a complete opposite. It's Pelistri, who people have called for, it's Garnacho, who's had impact, and it's Rashford. Sancho is the complete opposite to those three wingers. Now, if we're not going to play him central, which I don't believe we will, I don't believe he will be a success here. Jadon Sancho is super talented. Don't get it mistaken, people. Extremely talented footballer. And I think if he leaves, he'll go elsewhere, in particular out of this country. And I think he'll do fine. And I think he'll be successful wherever he goes. So that's in regards to it. But I'm seeing some of the comments. So let me get to some of the comments as well. But everyone that's tapped in, because I'm seeing you lot. So yeah, this is from Warrior J saying, Jadon Sancho has refused to apologise to Eric Ten Hag, hence his omission from the Manchester United squad. That's from the Athletic FC. Also, there is hope Amrabat will be involved for Manchester United's game against Brighton. That's from at Telegraph. Ducker. And Warrior J said it's Statement FC back again, LOL. Jokes aside, Flawless thoughts on the chaotic Sancho situation. Also, big up. I don't really think it's chaotic. I think it's two people having a disagreement. But I don't know where this notion has come from that you can't speak back to your manager if you believe he's in the wrong. I don't know when that became a rule in football, because I've seen people say, oh, he's the manager, he should just shut up and be professional. Well, the manager wasn't professional when he called him out. So how come you're asking the player to be something that the manager's not? Very hypocritical.
Facts.
Very hypocritical. And here's another thing we need to stop doing, and I'm seeing it in the chat already, and we'll get to it. The reason why I haven't taken a side in this situation is because we don't know who's telling the truth. You know why we don't know, people? Because we're not in training. Jadon Sancho could be a terrible trainer, and Eric Ten Hag could be 110% spot on. On the flip side, Jadon Sancho could be an excellent trainer, and Eric Ten Hag is unfairly criticizing and unfairly targeting Jadon Sancho. Because effort could mean a number of things. Effort could be, oh, Jadon, could you bring out the footballs in the bag from the building to the pitch? And he says no. That can be deemed as a lack of effort. That can be deemed as not being a team player. So we don't know. That's why I haven't taken a side in this scenario, because I am not watching training. Now, if I was watching training week in, week out, I could have a say. Same way I watch the team play week in, week out. Therefore, I can comment on Ten Hag. I can comment on Jadon Sancho's performances. But training, no. So we can't say things like, where was the comment I wanted to get to? Hold up. I didn't even start it. But somebody said anyway in the comment section, oh, Ten Hag wouldn't criticize Sancho if he was putting in effort. How do you know? How do you know he just doesn't dislike Sancho? How do you not know he's unfairly targeting? He's not unfairly targeting Sancho. Like, we haven't heard of managers and seen managers unfairly target players. We've seen this happen before. This is nothing new. The same way managers can play favourites, and we've seen it with Southgate and the whole England squad. Managers can also unfairly criticize and put players in under scrutiny, and that's what reports said about Jadon Sancho, was he feels like it's one rule for him and it's different rule for others, which I can kind of see to an extent, because how Anthony, before he went on his leave of absence, continued to play, I'd be mad about that. I would be upset if I play in a position and I see someone underperform for a long period of time in said position. We watched Anthony 4 games in a row perform poorly and I didn't get my chance. That's fair gripe. That's fair. Yeah. Diva to Divas W says, how you know he's been targeted and Sancho is just playing the victim. This is why people need to listen. I legit just said at the very start, I don't know. That's why I'm taking a side. People gotta listen to what I'm saying. That's why I said, so I will say it again. Ten Hag could be 110% right. On the flip side, Jadon Sancho could be 110% right. How do we know? We are not watching training. We're not watching training. You know what I'm saying? No. But Jay, this is a whole different thing. No. See, people are missing 2 things. Jay Stringer said, Flawless, come on, man. We can all see you don't offer the team anything. That's nothing to do with being a bad trainer. Nothing to do with being a bad trainer. Zero. You can be the best trainer in the world, but still offer nothing on the football pitch because your ability is not there. You know who I think is an excellent trainer? Excellent trainer. Probably one of the best trainers at Manchester United, Scott McTominay. 110% effort every single time. Is he a good enough player? Does he offer Manchester United anything? No. Don't conflate. Nope. Don't mix up 2 arguments. You can be an excellent trainer, but just a bad player. So what are we talking about here? Let's not go too far with that. Ten Hag didn't mention his performances on the pitch. He spoke about him in training. What are we talking about? Like, let's not. And this is the type of thing that I'm talking about. People need to relax. Like Payne's here even saying, Sancho was a terrible trainer. We all watched the preseason videos, and dude couldn't do a push-up. You can't make this up. And this same attitude translates on the pitch. Always looks so uninvolved. In regards to him being a terrible trainer, we can't say that. That's incorrect because we don't watch him week in, week out. He's been training at Manchester United for 2 and a bit years now. We can't call him a terrible trainer because we are not there every day that ends in Y watching him train. So just be saying, oh, he can't do a push-up means he's a terrible trainer. Okay, because that correlates, yeah? All right. And same, his attitude translates on the pitch. How can you tell somebody's attitude? Somebody explain to me how you can tell what somebody's attitude's like from watching them on a football pitch. What does that mean? Because that word attitude gets thrown around and that can have many meanings. What are we talking about? And in regards to always look so uninvolved, again, in what sense? How does he look uninvolved? Mount's uninvolved. Does Mount have terrible attitude? We played a game where Mount had 19 touches in 70-odd minutes playing central midfield for Manchester United. How come no one don't label that at Mason Mount? There's a difference. Jadon Sancho's just not good enough for Manchester United. Why are we doing too much? He's not going to work here. He's not good enough for where we're trying to go, in my opinion. He don't fit the profile. Again, people doing too much. To say he's a terrible trainer is just incorrect because we're not watching. We're not. Let's see what else you lot are saying as well. Flawless. Anthony got 11 GNA in 42 games, but Sancho 18 in 82 games where one needs more chances. When have you heard me say Sancho needs more chances? Even if Sancho, I'll flip this one because Divas, you keep doing this and running with stuff that I've never said that you've heard from others. And we've had this conversation. And we had this on Man United on Tuesday. Yeah, it was the Tuesday edition with Ivorian, Rhino, and Kojo. And you said stuff I never said. Here's the thing is, if Sancho was in the team and was available, guess who I'm playing right wing? Palestri. That would be my pick. I'm playing Palestri, people. I don't know where people are getting this misconstrued that I'm backing Sancho in regards to playing more. I'm backing Sancho in this situation because I believe he's right and he did exactly what I would have done. But in terms of on the pitch, I'm not saying he needs more chances. I said sell him all summer. It's not a chance thing. Last season was his chance. I would play Palestri. What are we talking about? And again, Divas, we had this conversation and you know my thoughts. So now you've either forgotten or you're just ignoring, man. Either or. Because we had this conversation. Legit 2 days ago. We had this conversation. Like, cut it out. Let's see what else you lot are saying as well. Big up Sleeping Dragon. I see you as well. Let's see. And to Andy, who says Scott McTominay and Sancho have different expectations, surely. I wasn't talking about the expectations. I wasn't talking about the expectations. I was responding indeed to the comment about him offering nothing on the football pitch. That means he's bad in training. No. That the two don't correlate. Eden Hazard's one of the best wingers we've ever seen in the Premier League. Awful trainer. It's on record. I think he said it himself. Talk to Chelsea fans, they'll tell you. Eden Hazard was a terrible trainer. I think his teammates have spoken about it. He's spoken about it himself. Awful trainer. Well, guess what? One of the best wingers we've ever seen in the Premier League. I'm just using that as an example to say the two don't correlate. Of course, you get your freaks like Cristiano Ronaldo who are exceptional trainers, do everything in their power to prepare and deliver on the football pitch. But what are we doing there? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing? Flawless, he's been called out by 4 managers for the same thing, but everyone is wrong. Sancho can be right. 4 versus 1. Who are the 4 managers? Name them. Who are the 4 managers? We can't just go out throwing things out here, so name the sources. Who are the 4 managers? See, that's why TJ's shaking his head, because, you know, at Sarcasm City, we do our due diligence. So we can't just make statements and not back it up. So in regards to name the 4 managers and then name the sources. You can put you can tell me where these articles are of these 4 managers who said whatever about Sancho, and we all got Google. We can all do our Google.
Speaking of putting in mares, go ahead. Sorry.
We can all do our Googles. Big up Footy Chats as well. Big up Jacob. I see you also. Let's see what else. Let's see.
No, and here there was a comment from Jez. There was a comment from Jez up here earlier.
Yeah, get to.
Yeah, hold on. Where was it? Come on. Yeah, it says, I think Ten Hag, it's at 6:20 or at 12:20. I think Ten Hag is right not to play him if he's wanting to set an example. At least Kroenke's backed Arteta when he frozen out Abba and it worked out. let's see how this works out. I mean, fair. You could say that. I think the situations are a little bit different. Well, not as different as I would like them to be because, if you ask certain Arsenal fans, we got rid of Abba too quickly. I don't think you guys are going to end up getting rid of Sancho. I think this is just something that'll pass eventually. But you could argue that getting rid of Abba didn't necessarily help us because we ended up finishing 5th. So it all depends on where your my argument is it all depends on where your goals are set, right? For your season and for your club. Like I was willing to see Abba go just because you could see that there was other potential within that squad. Now, other Arsenal fans would say, hey, we shouldn't have let Abba go. He could have contributed those goals that, Martinelli didn't get or Nketiah didn't get or Laka didn't get during that season. So, yeah, I just wanted to call that out because, yeah, I mean, I think the quality of player is a little bit different between Abba and Sancho, but they are pretty much the same. And I don't like to back Arteta, but I think Arteta handled that situation a little bit better than Ten Hag is at this current juncture. But yeah, just wanted to call that out. Big up, Jez, though.
That's calm, large up, Jez. And to Divas, you was talking to T. Well, if you're talking to me or you're talking to TJ, you need to say like in regards to it, because I'ma just think you're talking. I'ma presume when we're talking about the same thing. You're talking to me. So here we go. Southgate, Dortmund, City youth manager, and Ten Hag. Now, name the sort. Okay, so where are these articles that this guy said this? Who's the Dortmund manager that said this? Who's the City youth manager that said this? Name him. Where did Southgate say he's a bad trainer? I want sausage.
He cooked at Dortmund.
Yeah, we know he cooked at Dortmund, but that's a whole different thing. So what we talking about? Man said, man can't even name the names of the managers, but you're using them here as sources. And name the articles. I want reliable sources, not the Mirror, not the Sun, not some ITK on Twitter with 5,000 followers. Nah. Name the sources that said these things. Southgate, so we got the City youth manager, the Dortmund manager, Ten Hag now, so we got Ten Hag 1. So we got Southgate, Dortmund, City youth manager. Who are them 3? I need these sources, please.
Source, trust me, bro.
Sources. Yeah, I need sources. That's what I always ask for, because we can't just be making stuff up. We really can't just be making stuff up. Hey, big up Black Diamond, I see you as well. Yeah, and I'm not guys in the chat mentioning the City thing when he was 17. Facts. You know what I'm saying? I'm not holding anything against any player when they were 17 years old. That's just me, though. That's just me. Hey, yeah, man, Eddie, tomorrow's show gonna be fire. You already know, man. You already know. Man, me not.
Big up, Eddie.
But you lot get any Arsenal questions in as well. I know, obviously, vast majority is gonna be United, but you got any Arsenal questions? Feel free to get them in. This is your time as well. Yeah, man. Georgie Sauces. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, Lucy. This is the same Dortmund manager that loves Sancho and wanted him to say, but man didn't even name a name. Man just said Dortmund manager. So who is it? Because I swear they've not had the same manager. Was it Jez or you lot in the chat? Let me know. Was it the same manager there Sancho's entire reign, or did they switch? Somebody let me know. Like, what we talking about? I seen Big Steve on the terrace today say he knew the coaches at City and that trained him and said his attitude was bad. And that's the funny thing, Andy. That's why I use the word attitude loosely. Because what is attitude? Or he refused to bring the balls out from the building onto the pitch. That could be deemed he has a bad attitude. What does that mean? I'm still waiting on the sources for these guys. And yeah, Jez, you'll know this. Let me know in Sancho's entire reign, was it the same manager that was there the entire time he was there, from when he signed to when he left? Or was it different? Was it 2 or 3 different managers? He was fined by Dortmund for 86K for turning up late to training. Okay, that's not being a bad trainer. So now we're switching it. Again, sources, Divas. I've just asked you for sources. You know what I'm saying? And where's the source of that as well? If we're going to say these things, sources, people. I always ask for sources. I don't know where you lot have been prior to here. And I'm not being an asshole about this. I ask for sources all the time. That's why if you look at the top, Warrior J put in 3 or 4 comments and put that. Let me pull this back up so you lot know. Because Warrior J is our very own Fabrizio Romano here. Look.
Facts.
Look at the comment at Telegraph Ducker. At Telegraph Ducker. Man knows exactly what it is. Look. At Athletic FC. You know what I'm saying? At Telegraph Ducker. See? And then when he asks a question, he asks a question. There's no source there. So please put sources on these things. We're not just running with anything. You know what I'm saying? This ain't a Twitter space. That's all it is. Oh yeah, Jez, I know. You know what I'm saying? That's why, man, I've been asking for the past 5 minutes for sources, and no, I'm not seeing anything. Man would say, yeah, Fabrizio said this, Ornstein said this, the Dortmund manager said this in a German publication, Southgate said this to the BBC or Sky or Talksport or whatever. Neither called him out like this. Ten Hag did, by the way, flawless. That's it, Jez. I know. Because if any of them would have called him out publicly, we would have seen this. Like, arguments and debates don't happen all the time. Like, what are we talking about? And Lucy's saying these people believe that people want to believe what they want to believe, and that's not what we're going to do. Criticize Sancho for his performances on the pitch. I've done it more than most. I did it all last season. Wasn't good enough on the football pitch. But we're not going to criticize him in this and try and assassinate his character with nothing to back it up with. That's not, no. We ain't doing that. There's Twitter, there's Instagram, there's Twitter Spaces for that nonsense. I don't run like that because that's just plain unfair. That's just what it is. And someone asked me a question as well in regards to, Andy says, why are you picking Palestri over Sancho? Do you think he's better? No, I don't think he's a better individual player, but I think he's better for the team. That's just legit what it is. If I'm playing one of them wide right, I'm playing Sancho. I'm playing Palestri. If I'm playing one of them in the 10 or from a central standpoint, I'm playing Sancho. It's very similar to when I spoke all this summer about, prime example, Ivan Toney and Harry Kane. Harry Kane is a better football player and a better striker, in my opinion, than Ivan Toney. But if you ask me who I'm picking Ivan Toney because I think he's better for the team. I look what's better for the forget individuals, who's better for the team. And I think Ivan Toney is a better fit for the Manchester United team than Harry Kane. But is Harry Kane the better player overall? Absolutely. Harry Kane's world class. World class. Is Ivan Toney? No, not yet. I think he can get there, but I don't think he is. So that's the best way I can put it. So that's why I go with Palestri. Because he has electric pace. That's what I'm running with.
Thanks.
Big up to V1 as well for the super chat. Says, you think, what's this? Jadon Sancho has, are you asking me if he has what? If he has balls? Is that what you're saying, V1? I don't want to say, I could be wrong in it. You may have mistyped, so I don't. But in regards to it, yeah, Jadon Sancho has stood up for himself, and I have no issue with that whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? I have no issue with what he did. Again, I reiterate, every single thing he's done in this scenario, I would have done the same. So I'm not going to criticize him for it. And I would have been called unprofessional, and I would have said, cool. I'd call it unprofessional. That's what I would say. V1's got a question for you. Jez, don't worry, I'll get to it. V1, big up for the super chat again. Says, it's TJ, by the way, but he says, best 11 for Arsenal in the Premier League. And
we were having the same discussion, like literally an hour ago. Let me pull up. I was over on Tottenham Away. We were having the same exact discussion. Hold on. Let me bring it up. Let me bring up my my list that I put out there. Best 11 for Arsenal in the Premier League. So I had Seaman, Dixon, Adams, Campbell, Cole, Vieira, Fabregas, Perez, Bergkamp, Henry.
Is that right-sided player? Right-sided player, you missed out.
Oh, right. Perez. He was right?
No, Perez was left because you said Perez, Fabregas, Vieira. You only named 3 midfielders.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like Liam Brady,
no,
maybe?
It was Dave. For those in the chat, Eddie, I see you. David Seaman. That's who he was talking about, man.
David Seaman. Yeah. What was he saying?
He said, yo, you got to say the first 2 names.
Oh.
They got
Pause.
You.
No, David Seaman. No, that motherfucker, he got me. Yeah. No, that was it. Yeah. What about you? What about you for Man United? Best 11 ever. Ooh. Or in the Premier League era?
Van der Sar, Gary Neville, Stam, Rio. I can't pick between Irwin and Patrice Evra, so I'm throwing them both at left back, joint left back. Scholes, Keane, Ronaldo, Giggs, Cole, Cantona. That's my team.
No, SE, you're right. Youngberg. Why do I always forget about Freddie Youngberg?
I thought you was going to go Youngberg or Ray Parlour. I thought you was going to go with one of those.
Yeah, I'll go Youngberg. Yeah. Yeah, I had a brain fart there. Youngberg.
Yeah. No, that's first. Great team. AV1, big up for the super chat as well, man.
Yeah, big up.
Super chat. Big up to Justice says, sorry, Flawless Tony's coming to the bridge in January. He may well. I was just using him as an example. He might. I've spoken on it. I'm sold on him. I think he's an exceptional player. I think he's absolutely exceptional. And the only thing that he's not, the only question mark against him is him doing it at a higher level, and he's not had the opportunity to do so yet. He's not played in a quality side, or a better side than Brentford, I should say, in the Champions League, etc. In a team trying to fight for top 4, etc. No, Andy, I didn't say Schmeichel. Van der Sar. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Van der Sar is the best. He's my pick. Like I said, that's why I said Van der Sar. Right back, I went Gary Neville. Rio and Stam, even though we have so many quality centre-backs. Left back, I can't choose between Irwin and Evra, because I think they're both top-notch. Keane Scholes pick themselves, the central midfielders. I think Giggs from the left picks himself. Cristiano Ronaldo, right-hand side, picks itself. Yep. Cole, behind Rooney, I record goal scorer even before Rooney was, and Cantona's Cantona. So that's why.
Yeah.
That's just
me. Jacob, is your favorite center back that ever played for Arsenal Sol Campbell too?
I love how you and Jacob go back and forth.
No, I'm just making sure. Making sure. I was just asking. It
is. Hey, and big up my guy Alam. So smash the likes button.
Big up Alam.
Subs people. Make sure you subscribe to his channel, Toronto Hoop Talk. Especially if you're a Raptors fan, if you're an NBA fan, if you're supporting Sarcasm City TV, make sure you subscribe to Alam's channel as well. That is one of the many branches of the Sarcasm City TV tree people. So make sure you go subscribe to his channel. The link's underneath in the description on this live stream and others. Before we continue though, over 90 people in here. Only at 45 likes, people. Let's get us up to 70 likes. Like check 1212. Let's bump up the likes. Hit the subscribe button as well. We are at 8,000 and I'm just refreshing now. And one of the mods, please put TJ's channel, TJ Warren TV. Put that in the comment section. Go subscribe over there as well, people. I'm going to add it in the link underneath in the description in a second as well. Just refreshing. 100. We're at 8,026. Let's get us up to 8,030. 4 more subscribers, people. I know there's at least 4 of you lot who have not hit that subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. Let's bump up these likes as well. Get us up to 70 likes. And let's get us over 100 people in here as well. See what you lot are saying.
100.
Let's see what else you lot are saying as well. Man said I'm a United fan, but Arshavin's an Arsenal legend. I won't go that far.
I don't think.
Jay said it. Yeah, that's crazy. He says, Arsenal's upcoming fixture list: Everton away, PSV at home in the Champions League, North London derby at the Emirates, Brentford away in the Carabao Cup, Bournemouth away in the Premier League, Lens away in the Champions League, then at home to Manchester City. What improvements do you want to see?
I mean, that's I want to see a solid formation. I want to see 4 at the back for every single one of these matches. And I'm not saying, inverted right back from Partey. That's exactly what I want to avoid. Ben White is not a center back any longer. He is one of the best right backs, arguably, in the Premier League. He needs to stay there. I would like to see him play in every single one of these games. I mean, maybe not Brentford away, give him a break there, but we are extremely thin on that back line, so we need to make sure that we are playing our strong players every match. I expect us to win pretty much all of these matches except for possibly Lens away and Man City at home. We are terrible away in Europe. My expectations are extremely low. I mean, even if our Champions League group looks like a Europa League group, we are terrible away from home in Europe. That's just the truth of it. And Man City, when was the last time we beat Man City? It's been years. It's what was it, like 2000?
Yeah,
it was like in the FA Cup semi when we in 20. I think it was 2020.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. When's the last time you beat them in the league?
I don't even know. Somebody in the chat correct me. I don't even know, to be honest. But yeah, what improvements do I want to see? I want to see a healthy rotation as well. I want to see Leo Trossard get time. Leo Trossard's going to the coach and saying, I'm not getting enough playing time. And I agree with him, especially because, and there was a lot of people asking me my opinion about the Saka injury rumors too. I don't think it's a rumor. I think he's injured. I think he's injured.
He's injured. Wait. What's the injury? Shout out Victoria in the
chat.
So
there's a couple of people. So he's had a nagging Achilles injury on and off since last season, and he just keeps getting played into the ground. Every single England match, Southgate has him in. Every single Premier League match, Arteta has him in. And I think that not giving him time to rest up. I mean, this kid plays football 11 months out of 12.
Yeah, he does play
he never gets to stop. He never gets rest. And when he's out there, people are beating the absolute shit out of him. So, and I'm not saying he's the most foul player or anything like that. I'm not putting that narrative, but people play him and they play him hard. And I think there's been a slowdown of pace since the Forest game. I really think there has. There's been a dip in form, and I don't think anybody can really argue that. So if he is injured, and I think he is, because you can kind of see it in the way that he's playing, put Trossard at right wing and give Saka a rest. I wouldn't mind seeing that at Everton. I really wouldn't. Put him on the bench. We have enough quality in this squad, objectively. I don't think I'm being subjective here. We have enough quality in this squad playing Trossard on the right to beat Everton away. They're arguably the worst team in the league. And there are a lot of look, people are going to say I'm probably overly positive here because I am going to be positive here. We have not beaten Everton away in 7 years.
Yeah,
6 years, 7 years, something like that.
When I was talking to him, he was saying it's been a long time that you don't do well.
Spot on. Troops spot on. Yeah. We are terrible away, but I think now we're gonna break it open this time. I really do believe that. We could have broken it open last year, but our form was not great, and then we were playing in Everton that was getting a new manager bounce on Sean Dyche. Sean Dyche is on his way out. I do not think he's going to be there very much longer, because if they continue on this form, they are going to be playing championship football in that brand new stadium. So I want to see if it takes sitting Saka for Everton away and PSV at home to see him play Tottenham at home, because that's when we're really going to need him. Yeah. I say do it, and that might not be a really popular opinion, but that's my opinion. We do have to rotate, and we do have to conserve, especially because we are in Carabao Cup, FA Cup, Champions League, FA Cup, Premier League. Yeah, we have all these competitions. We're going to be playing. We're going to be playing 3 matches a week, and however far we go into the Carabao, we could be in 4 competitions by December. And that's a lot. That's a lot of football. So you got to rotate them.
A hell of a lot of football. Yeah, because I didn't even realize because when Warrior J, I was reading out the comment and going through the fixtures, I was like, that is a lot of games, because you got Everton away, PSV's then midweek, then the North London derby, then a midweek game against Brentford away in the Carabao Cup currently. Brentford away in the Carabao Cup, then Bournemouth away in the Premier League, then you're back in the, and I know it's not all back to back, but it's close, and then City at home, of course.
Right. And look, I'm not looking past Brentford away either. Brentford is a tough team away, especially when you see how Arteta approaches matches in the Carabao Cup. He'll play like Carl Hein. He'll play James Hilson. He'll play our 3rd string goalkeeper in these matches, because he's trying to give these guys a shout, and then we'll lose. Like it happened against Brighton last season. We lost in the first match against Brighton in the Carabao Cup because we played Hein, and he just put in a shocker. So, what I'm asking for and what improvements I want to see is the teams that Arteta field and play a consistent formation. Hopefully that answers your question, Warrior. Big up.
That's great. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Big up to V1 for the super chat, who says United versus Arsenal, 37th game. Thoughts? Knowing Manchester United and Arsenal, at least one of the teams will be fighting for something. Probably maybe like a top 4. Don't forget about league. Hey, fighting for no league. It could be a top 4 thing. However, I don't see us finishing in the top 4, but I don't know, maybe top 5, top 6. So there could be something on the game, which would make it. It would make it much better if there is.
I would,
so, yeah, that's
I fully expect Arsenal to be in the top 4, but we're not winning the league. We're not winning the league. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. I'm not I'm not going to be one of these guys that are trotting out some agenda saying Arsenal are the best team ever. That's just not the truth. That's not the truth. No. But we should comfortably be in the top 4, and United are going to be fighting for something. I'm not trying to dog you or anything like that. But it's at OT, and we are traditionally not good playing away against any of the top 6 teams, let alone OT. So it'll be interesting.
True.
It'll be interesting.
We might be, I don't know, maybe fighting for top 6. I'm not confident of top 4 at all with this team. I'm not. We'll see how Amrabat and Højlund do. That could change my view and opinion on it, but right now I'm not confident. Big up to Sleeping Dragon as well, says, respect for the content, Flawless. It's always good to hear from a US view on our football. It's often delivered without tribal prejudices, which is refreshing for a change. That's why I've said this before. I say this again. Not only do I ever like talking to people who are knowledgeable about football, but the likes of TJ and other Americans and other people from outside the UK who I talk to about football. The reason why I like it is because they, like you said, without prejudice, they don't have the UK media 24/7 pumping out stories and pumping out narratives and ways to think. That's why the vast majority of foreign fans, I agree with. The vast majority of debates I have are with people Manchester United from the UK. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, when that whole Ollie in versus Ollie out thing was going on, like I said, I've never, ever, ever met someone who was Ollie in who was outside of the UK. You know what I'm saying? The likes of Eddie and others. I did fan calling shows, spoke to so many different people in chats on here and others. And when I'm seeing where people are from, not one Ollie inner from outside. I even have people from Norway who are like, nah, he's the United fans from Norway, get him out. Like, that's legit what it was. So that's why I love, like I said, whether it's a TJ, whether it's Eddie or whoever else, a Peter, a Alam example, because they do bring a refreshing view and it's something different and something that I can't see because I'm on the inside of, like, in regards to the English media and hearing it, where they're not hearing it day in, day out. So, yeah, man, big up to you, Sleeping Dragon. Yeah, big up. Again, big up for the super chat, man. Large up everyone in the chat. Let's see what you lot are saying. 58 likes. Bump up the likes as well. Juice, don't worry, man. We'll get to it. Man just said, that's mad funny. We'll get to it. Don't worry. Jazz, I did see some of the comments you said as well. Because notice how when you start asking for sources, man didn't drop no sources. Crazy that. You know what I'm saying? Crazy. He said all that about Sancho.
It's crazy.
About 4 managers, 4 managers disciplining him and 4 managers being unhappy with him. And I said, where are the sources of these 4 managers? We've got one in Ten Hag and that's it. But that's a classic example of somebody doing too much. Just say you don't like Sancho, which is cool to say. Then I know where you stand. If you say, I'm not a fan of Sancho, I want him gone out of the club, anything you say to me about the Sancho situation, I understand where you're coming from. I use Eddie as an example all the time. He is LA Lakers through and through. LA Lakers to the death. If you cut him, he would bleed purple and gold. That's why when he's talking about the LA Clippers, I know what I'm going to get. You know what I'm saying? And I'm fully aware of what Eddie's going to say when he's talking about the Clippers. I'm not surprised. I'm not shocked when he says certain things about the Clippers. I know he's not going to give them their just due. You know what I'm saying? I bet he says it in the chat. Fuck the Nippers. That's what he's about to say. So, like, just be honest with your biases. That's all it is. And, yeah, Jess said it here. It was internal with the club and Sancho. Like, he would go to Mani too often or come into training late, but it was never to an extent where both the club and any of the 2 managers wanted him to go. Yeah, that's another thing. When people say Dortmund managers, I knew there was more than one. So it's kind of like, yeah, people just doing too much. Please just talk about that incident in isolation. See? Told you. You know what I'm saying? Just right on cue. You know what I'm saying? Fuck the Nippers. Right on cue. Told you. You know what I'm saying? I know it. I know it.
Big up.
Flawless, should Sancho have apologized? If he wanted to play again, yes. But he's not interested in that. And I'm cool with that. Because like I said before, and I say it again, and Juice, you're new here. I would have done the exact same what Sancho did. And people have said, well, you're not going to play again. Cool. If Manchester United move me on, cool. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. That's just legit what it is. And to Divas, drop the sauces again. And we missed them. So can you drop the sauces again? And big up to Juice as well. Says, I'm a gooner from Chicago. Big up. Hey, large up.
Big up,
man. Love to see it. Large up every single time. So yeah, drop the sauces again, my guy, please. Let's see what else you are saying as well. And Juice had a question for you. He said, can y'all speak on Havertz? So, floor's yours, TJ.
what needs to be said that I haven't already said on this for the last, like, whenever Flawless has me on, or whenever Cam is on, because Cam speaks exactly the same way I do about Havertz. He is garbage. He is not good enough for this club. He is not good enough for the Premier League. Maybe he's good enough for a Luton Town, but he is not good enough for Arsenal. Period. End of story. And people will say, oh, well, TJ, if you look at his game stats, he's gotten 6s and 5s and 6s every single match. Like they stand up and say this like they're the Manchurian Candidate. Like, look at the way that he is playing. He has not contributed positively to the first three matches of this season. He did not contribute positively. Yeah, you could argue, he did have chances against Man City, but did he capitalize against those chances in Man City? No. He only scored against the MLS All-Stars. And people are bigging that up like it's a huge thing. Oh, he scored in his first game. Yeah, against MLS pensioners. I was at that game live. It was garbage. Awful game. We were always going to win that 5-0 anyway. So everybody's saying that, oh, well, he's average. He's average. Okay, well, how did he do against... Sorry, I'm dying. How did he do? Because I'm seeing the... No, I need to hide the chats because these guys are absolutely cracking me up. I gotta hide the chat. Here's the thing. How did he do against Man United?
Yeah. Facts.
That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know. Not only
pass into Ericsson. Go on, carry on.
Yeah. Nice play. He had a great assist for the other team. Okay, he airballed. I didn't even know this was possible from that hard out. I have a fake hip. I'm an overweight 35-year-old. I could have gotten that one in, okay? Never played football a day in my life. Always just been a fan. You got to be kidding me. And you're a professional footballer? This guy has been, look, I have seen all I need to see. I saw all I needed to see before we were in on him for $65 million. We talked about this literally when I first met Flawless. It was the first thing I said to him. I don't need to see Havertz in the Premier League. I do not need to see him have another chance. This is obviously an Arteta signing where he thinks he can get a tune out of this kid. 65 million, 330 bags a week for this, for 004, about to be 5. Okay? Because he will start against Everton, because you cannot sit a player that is getting paid, again, £330 a week. For those of you counting at home, that is 1.2 million plus that we have wasted to see this guy put in an average of 4.5 performances, in my opinion. Seriously. So, yeah, let's go ahead. Yeah, people saying, wait, 330K a week? No, I'm not making that up. Go look it up. He is the highest paid player at Arsenal. More than Saka, more than Rice, more than Jesus, more than any other player that is contributing 10 times more than Havertz is into this team. He failed under 3 managers at Chelsea. Yeah, you could say that there was chaos at Chelsea. That's fine. But he has been eating off of that Champions League goal in the Premier League for far too long. And if this bombs out, you can only blame one person, and that's Arteta. Because, look, Flawless, I don't claim to be an expert on the game. I don't. I am what you would consider a recent fan. Okay?
Yes.
But we knew what time it is when they started signing the likes of Mount and Havertz respectively.
Yeah, we knew what we did.
We knew what time it was. All we were doing was saying, "Oh yeah, we could possibly get a tune out of this guy, and we're gonna pay way too much for the pleasure." I don't know. You can speak again to why Ten Hag signed Mount. You can do that. We can replay this whole conversation all over again, and we'll lose more days off of our lives, and we'll kill more trees, wasting the oxygen talking about it. But look, at the end of the day, you see what you see with your eyes, okay? Yeah. And the people looking at Havertz through rose-colored glasses, eventually, you gotta resign yourself to the fact that this guy is shit. And no. I'm done. I'm done now, Flawless. I'm done.
That's fair. That's cool. You lot continue to get your questions in. Big up Cameron as well for the super chat says maybe Arteta brought Havertz for Arsenal to win the Champions League. You lot are jokes, yo. You lot have
that's hilarious. Oh my god. Yeah, that's hilarious. That's great. Yeah.
Cameron, big up for this.
We haven't even started in the Champions League. We're already in the mud, man. Oh my god.
Havertz, he really is so
Havertz.
Bad. He really is. But hey, Juice, big up for that question. Hey, big up my guy Rhino in the cut as well. Good to see you, man. Since just come off my stream and locked in. Big up my guy Flawless. Shouts to TJ. Make sure you subscribe to Rhino's channel. And again, I know people are dropping in, so we're gonna keep going back to the Sancho situation, which is cool. Because Red Devil Studio says, nah, Sancho is in the wrong here. Here the thing is, I agree with you from a professional standpoint. From a professional standpoint, yes. But all I can say to that is, fuck professionalism. I'm a man first. Before he is Jadon Sancho, the footballer, before he is Jadon Sancho employed by Manchester United Football Club as his job, he is Jadon Sancho, the man first. Simple as that. And if you criticize somebody, if you criticize a man publicly, more often than not, he's going to respond back publicly. That's just the way it is. You know what I'm saying? Forget about professionalism and who he plays for and him being high profile and how much he's paid. So yes, from a professional standpoint, yes, he is in the wrong. Fuck that professionalism stuff is my thought process on it. Couldn't care less. I would have doubled down. What am I apologizing for in Sancho's head? You criticize me publicly. I respond. And then I come back to training and then you want me to apologize. Apologize for what? I'm not apologizing. And then people say, oh, well, he'll be sold by Manchester United. Cool. If he's sold by Manchester United, that's just the way it goes, unfortunately. Not every place you work, it works out. Cool. You know what I'm saying? And that's just simply what it is. And to V1, big up for the super chat, who says, Rashford didn't respond because Rashford wasn't. Here's the difference. So I'll clarify this. Big up for the super chat, V1. What Ten Hag said about Rashford was, I dropped him from the squad because he was late. What did Rashford do? What did Rashford say? Yeah, I was late. So Ten Hag wasn't lying. On the flip side, though, so we'll flip it to the scenario so we understand what it is. It's like Ten Hag saying, yeah, Rashford was late. That's why I dropped him. And then Rashford goes, no, I wasn't late. I was on time. Like, that would be the scenario of that. Then that would cause an issue. Guaranteed, if Ten Hag lied about Rashford being late, Rashford responds publicly. No, I wasn't late. And then they have this issue. That's where the issue lies, is you lot don't seem to understand that Ten Hag saying one thing and Sancho saying another. So somebody's lying. Again, not saying who is lying because we don't know, because this stems from training. But the point that I'm making is Sancho is saying the manager's lying. And Ten Hag saying, no, I'm not lying. So we're at a crossroads. More often than not, if you're the employee and you and the manager don't get on, you're going to be gone. Sancho's willing to accept that. Cool. Fully understand that. I fully get that. But, hey, that's just me, though. And let's be real, Jose said worse about Shaw, but there was no outcry from the fan base. Let's stop being biased. Red Devil Studio, you're new here, so you can't use that against me. But I do agree with you in regards to people pick and choose favorites. I've said it, not on this stream, but I've said it all along in regards to this scenario. From when it originally happened when we lost to TJ's team, Arsenal. Never criticize players publicly. I'm against it. I don't think it works. I don't think it benefits the player. It don't benefit the team. Don't benefit the manager. Don't benefit the club. When Mourinho did it with Shaw, I said it. I said, nah, he shouldn't do that. I said he shouldn't do that. I'm not sure if I was streaming at that point. I might have been on radio. I can't remember. But that's the point. You know what I'm saying? That's the point that I'm making. And don't worry, Victoria, we're going to get to Maguire. Don't worry, man. We're going to talk about Maguire. These Leeds fans, man. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
These Leeds fans, man, no decorum. You know what I'm saying? In that, yo, just
no. I saw her in there digging out Arsenal at Ellen Road. You guys are down there playing Huddersfield Town, and you're talking to me.
Yeah, hold that. Yo, you joker. But yeah, shout out to Victoria every single time. But yes, in regards to this Red Devil Studio, because it's good to see new names and new Avies in the chat as well. Like, I'm not being biased. I say it all the time. Managers should never criticize players publicly because it doesn't work. I can't remember the last time a manager criticized the player and it worked in his favor. In terms of the manager, in terms of the player turning around his form. I think it's a terrible idea, but that's just me. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. So no, there's no bias here. One thing I don't do is bias. To Don F who says you either file a HR complaint or respect the boss, can't be petulant. How can I respect the boss? I'm not respecting no one that don't respect me. Where's this thing? Respect is a two-way street. That's like me, you know what I'm saying, tweeting about TJ and criticizing TJ, and then TJ responds to me on Twitter and I act surprised. I go, how can TJ do this? This is out of order. I'm not his boss or anything, but I'm just using that as an example. Say he worked for me, people. Facts. We'll use that as an example. Let's say TJ worked for me and I criticize him publicly. You know what I'm saying? On this platform. Then he goes on his platform and responds and goes, Flawless is a liar. And I go, whoa, I can't believe he did that.
How dare you?
That's how dare you. That's out of order. No. Anywhere you critique, you can be critiqued. So in regards to it, into respect is a two-way street. You respect me, I respect you. Where was your respect when you said what you said publicly about me? Bear in mind, Sancho thinks he's a liar. That's the key issue we're missing. And I'm not saying Sancho's wrong or right because we don't know. I will keep reiterating that. I'm just saying I do the same thing Sancho is. But that's just me. That's just me. And to Juice, who says, Flawless with no Sancho or Anthony, what's your starting attack versus Brighton? It'll be Rashford, Hoyle, and Pelestri. That'll be the front three. Now with no Sancho, no Anthony, Mount's injured as well. That'll be the three. I think that's the only three. Unless he decides he might play Rashford right and put Garnacho left. I don't want to see that. I'd rather see Pelestri get his start. That's me. All right, that's it. That's just me, though. See what else you lot are saying in the chat. Bump up the likes, though. Still over 80 of you lot in here. Over 85. 61 likes, man. Get us up to 70 likes. Like check 1212. Make sure you do so as well. Andy, you says you argue your points well. This is because, like, when you lot ask me questions and say stuff, you'll hear me stop and pause and stutter because I let the questions swirl around my head. And then I'll give you a response. And then I'll also give you the reason as to my response. So again, I reiterate it with the Jadon Sancho situation, why I'm not criticizing him, because I would have done the exact same thing. And I would have doubled down. And anyone who knows me knows I would have doubled down and not apologized because I believe the boss is in the wrong. Forget you're the boss. I've said it before, I've said it again. I've had run-ins with bosses at workplaces. Before I did this, when I've been at workplaces. You know what I'm saying? I've had more jobs than Uncle Ruckus. I've done so many different pieces of work, people. And I've had run-ins with team leaders, bosses, owners of places. Don't care. Respect is people like using the word respect. Respect is a two-way street. You're not going to call me out. Even if it's fairly, if I'm doing some bullshit, and I've done that many a time working minimum wage, and I've been bullshitting around, and I know the boss is calling me to the office to say, why have you not made more calls? I hear you. I'm not going because you've done it. Don't do it publicly, though. Don't try and embarrass me. Don't do that. Like, that's not what it is. No, this ain't anybody's business but between me and the boss. Ten Hag's made that public. Pull him to the side. Could have easily pulled it, yo, you're not training well.
Yep. Facts.
That's what it is. You could have just easily done that. And we're not having this conversation. And we're talking about something else. But hey, we move. We move. But large up all of you lot as well. Let's see. Of human and friggin'. I just seen Kaneki's what's it called? Kaneki's comment in regards to Harry Maguire. Have you lot got your thoughts on it actually, TJ? We'll go to you with the Harry Maguire situation.
Well, what was mom getting involved and saying that?
Talk about all of that. Okay. Victoria bless up every single time. Yeah, go on, fam.
Look. Yeah. Big up. I don't have an opinion on this guy because look, if he's just now getting letting the hate in the media and hate from the fan base and ridicule from everybody else get to him, like what was the tipping point? Because this guy has been getting crap for like 2 years. He's been awful. He has been. He scores more goals. He scores more goals for the other team than he does for you guys most of the time. Look, yeah, it's just like what own goal this past weekend or this past week. So like, what's the point? What are we talking about here? So look, there's a lot of people throwing around mental health, like Maguire was doing that, Richarlison is doing that. But look, can't you just go out there and say, hey, look, I hear what you guys are saying, and I know that I am not playing well. I am going to go out there and I'm going to try my damnedest to earn my way back into this team. instead of going, oh, well, I think I'm playing fine. I'm going to continue to do this. I'm going to continue to do that. No, acknowledge that you are not doing well. Yes. Like he got stripped of his captaincy for Bruno, who, you know, you can have your own opinions of that or whatever. But look, like the objective view of this entire thing, and I really don't have a strong view either way on the Maguire situation because honestly, long may it continue. I can't stand Harry Maguire. He plays for England. I don't like England. He plays for United. I don't like United. So like long may it continue, honestly. But the bigger guy would say, hey, look, I know that I'm not playing well and I'm going to try to do better. But instead, no, he's getting defensive and saying, oh, well, no, I think I'm playing well and I think I'm going to get a lot more squad time. Yeah, you probably will, but it's not by virtue of the way that you're playing, like injuries and multiple games and that. But look, like you don't need to be a genius to know that you're not playing well. So just acknowledge it and move on. And it's as simple as that. I really don't have that strong of an opinion on it. I never rated Harry Maguire, to be fair. So that's that.
Yeah, in regards to it, the long and the short of it, it's on like I don't know why this is even a conversation in regards to the criticism he's receiving. He's performing poorly. He's getting criticized. You're performing poorly, playing for Manchester United and playing for England. How do I put this? The football club and the nation under the most scrutiny. When you play for Manchester United,
literally,
you have more eyeballs and more spotlight on you than any other club in the country. When you play for England, probably more than any other nation worldwide. Maybe you could argue Brazil potentially. Maybe a Brazil. You know what I'm saying? Someone might mention another club. You're under scrutiny is the point. You're under spotlight. You know what I'm saying? You're under the spotlight at the end of the day. So that's just legit what it is. You're receiving criticism because you've not been good enough. That's legit what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that.
And the fact and where can I just ask, where is his agent? Where is his PR guy? Where he lets his mom talk to the papers and defend him. Like, really?
You know what?
Do we really need to do this?
You know what it is? I don't think that's like been done. I think his mom has done that off her own back. And this is why I will defend it. I am not going to criticize his mom for defending him. You know why? Because that's her baby. And mums are going to do that type of thing.
Well, yeah, of course.
That's just mum. That's why anyone else made that statement, I'd be here criticizing him for that. But since it's her son, you know what I'm saying? It's a mother's love.
Okay.
I fully get it. That's why I will not criticize his mother for making the statement, even though I disagree with it, because I understand where it is indeed coming from.
Do you think it reflects badly on him though?
Nah, because I don't think any. Can he sink any lower?
Are you sure? I'm dead.
That's a great question, yo. You stopped me with that question. Does it reflect badly on him? To me, it's like, nah, like it's. I don't think he can. Like, I think that's how bad it's got. Because to my knowledge, I've been watching football a long time. Ooh. It's never come to the point where a mother has had to come out and defend her. So, like, we've seen it with brothers. We've seen it with sisters. They can get criticized. But mums, I get it. I get it. Like, I fully get why you would. Like, I know 110% if I was playing professional football and I was being criticized, and I was being criticized rightfully so, I have females in my family, mums. Actually, my mom would probably tell me we pattern up, but I've got aunts, my sisters definitely defending me. 110%.
Oh, yeah.
I already know it. Without doubt. So that's where I get an understanding from. I understand it.
No, I understand where she is coming from. I get that. Yeah. But like your measure, and let's be honest, this is a masculine sport. It's a masculine world. If my mom was coming out and defending me, I'd probably be like, "Look, mom, just."
Yeah, like, you have to tell her. Yeah, mom, chill.
I'm like, just chill. It's all right. I can deal with this. Like, you know, that's one of those things. But yeah, you got a good point. Could he go any lower? I don't know. We'll see. Time will tell.
I know if someone was criticizing me, and my mom thought it was over the top, she'd be ready to go to war. 110%. Yeah. That's where it comes from. I 110% know. If I was being criticized by somebody, like on like it was like TV, so whether it's Sky, Talksport, BBC, whatever the case may be, BT, and I was being criticized, and my mum thought it was over the top, she's definitely responding. She'll probably pull up to the studio. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? And that. Like, my mum, I'm gonna ask her about it actually tomorrow and see what she says in regards to it. And I want to know her thoughts on the whole situation. Like, I actually want to know her, but she could definitely do that type of thing if she thought it was over the top. But yeah, because no mum wants to see their son being criticized. Like, consistently, even if it's right. Even if it's justified, you don't want to see that type of thing.
No, you really don't. No, not at all, not at all.
So that's legit. But yeah, with Maguire, man, he just not performed well. Like that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? And that, but him scoring an own goal was just it was just so ironic. Like, you just had to be him against Scotland scoring an own goal.
It's never. Yeah.
Well, he should have moved to West Ham. No, some of this is on him. Should have moved to West Ham. You know what I'm saying?
Well, no, and I saw a couple of people on Twitter saying, you know, if you don't like the criticism, you probably should have moved to West Ham, where the light's a little bit dimmer. And look, and the expectations are lower. Like, why not? But hey, you know, what I don't get though is, how does this guy keep getting selected for England? How? Like, I don't get it. But, you know, long may it continue in that, because, you know, I'm an American. I'm shameless about the United States. I could not care less about England. But I talk to all you guys. I talk to English people. Like, I talk to you guys, all you guys in the football world, in the YouTube football world, probably 8 hours a day, whether it be Instagram, WhatsApp, whatever. But man, the guy Gareth Southgate, who came out and said, you know what, I'm going to pick these guys on merit. These guys, if your league, if you are performing for your club, I am going to pick you for my squad in England. And Harry Maguire. Enough said. Harry Maguire. Sorry, it's just it's a joke. It's beyond, like, you guys are like you said earlier, obviously the international team with the most spotlight on it. Oh, it's, you know, it's coming home and all that crap, but people like it. You say that, but your manager is still playing Harry Maguire week in and week out. Facts. In international competitions. He don't even play
for Manchester United no more. He plays more minutes for England. He's England FC. He don't play for Manchester United. He's 5th, 6th choice for us. Legit. No. 4 players have to be injured for him to get on the pitch. Martinez, Varane, Shaw, and Lindelof all have to be injured for him to see football pitch for any significant.
And he was out there. He was like, this is how low it gets for you guys. He was out there with Johnny Evans.
Yes.
At the end of that Arsenal game.
That's what it was. It took 4 injuries.
The Leicester back line was in for you guys, and you could easily blame that loss on Harry Maguire, and the fact that you guys were playing Harry Maguire and Johnny Evans in that back line. But yeah, anyway, that's enough. That's all I got to say about Maguire, man. I could go on, and I'm gonna sound like a broken record.
Cool. And to big up to V1 for the super chat, says England centre backs are dead. You want dunk against France? England centre backs, I agree with you. England centre backs aren't good, but you don't pick someone who's not playing. Is the point I'm making. You at least pick someone who's in some form of good form, like a Lewis Dunk. You pick a Colwell. You pick a Guehi. John Stones when he's fit, for example. I believe he is fit, actually. I believe he's fit and available. But yeah, the point I'm making is you don't pick Harry Maguire, someone who's not playing well, who's not even not playing well, who don't play and is clearly low on confidence. When is the last time Harry Maguire put together a run of 3, 4, 5 good games? He don't play for Manchester United. Why is he playing for England? And then you'll turn around and say, people will say, oh, he's lacking match sharpness. Should have moved to West Ham. Simple as that. So yeah, that's what I would say. You got Tomori, you got Stones, you got Guehi, you got Colwell, you got Dunk.
Tomori is a baller.
That's 5.
By the way, too.
That's baller. 5. And all 5 of them, to my knowledge, all play for their clubs. Surely the starting point for starting for your nation, especially a nation like England, who are one of the better nations with talent, is starting week in, week out for your club. Maguire don't play. Like, Martinez and Lindelof, I believe, are both fit and available, because I think they played on international duty. Maguire going to be on the bench. And for him to get on the pitch, it will take one of those two to get injured. But I believe Martinez played for Argentina and Lindelof played for Sweden. I believe so. But hey, big up Prime as well, man. He's telling you lot to bump up the likes. Like check 1 2 1 2, man. Let's bump up the likes. Rap. 67 likes, man. Let's get up to 80 likes. Over 80 of you lot in here. Hit that subscribe button as well.
Facts.
Sarcasm City TV. Make sure you subscribe to TJ's channel. Again, one of the mods. Put the link for TJ's channel in the comment section. TJ Warren TV, people. TJ Warren TV. And again, new people joining, so yeah, we'll get to the Sancho conversation as well, because Kai Fleming says big up to you, says big up Flawless. You use the word professional and that just doesn't go together with Sancho. Why make excuses for Sancho? His actions prove otherwise. I'm not making excuses for Sancho. I said how he responded was unprofessional. But guess what? What Ten Hag did was unprofessional. So if you can be unprofessional as the boss, guess what? I'm going to be unprofessional as the employee. If you're unprofessional as the employer, I am going to be unprofessional as the employee. Because like I stated, and I'll say this again, before he's Jadon Sancho, Manchester United footballer, before he is Jadon Sancho employed by Manchester United to do a job, he is Jadon Sancho, a man. That man has been criticized publicly and believes the manager's lying. So he's well within his right to respond publicly. Cool with that. Call him unprofessional. I actually agree with you, Kai, that it is unprofessional, but I understand it, because if, again, and people are going to be tired of me saying this, if I was in Jadon Sancho's scenario, I would have done the exact same thing. Pin the tweet and all. Would have done the whole nine. Everything he did, I would have done. Well, yeah, everything he did, I would have done 110% without question. So I'm not going to criticize him. And someone else said, I think it was Red Devil who asked earlier, I forgot to star it, when he said the manager was asked a blatant question about Jadon Sancho. What was he supposed to say? Tactical reasons. Could have easily said tactical reasons. Like, Ten Hag said the truth and didn't lie to Ten Hag V1. We can't say he didn't lie because we don't know. He said Sancho's bad in training. We don't know if Sancho's bad in training. You know why? Because we're not there in training. We don't know. That's simply what it is. This is why I'm not saying Ten Hag's wrong in regards to him saying he's a bad trainer. The issue I have with it is him calling him out publicly. Privately say that. And in regards to him not lying in the press conference, managers lie all the time. He said Harry Maguire is a great centre-back. He said he was lucky to have him, and then he stripped him of the captaincy and made him 5th choice. He said De Gea's my number 1 goalkeeper. I love having him here. He's a great goalkeeper to have around, and then we shipped him out. We offered him a contract and then took it back. So managers lie. All he had to say was, yeah, I left him out for tactical reasons. That's the simple it. I left him out for tactical reasons. It wasn't a game for him. What do you mean by that? I'm not divulging that further. Next question. No, what do you mean by that? I'm not divulging it further. I've answered your question. Next question. Guess what? Them interviewers ain't like that. They're not like a me or TJ where we're just going to keep asking the question. They're going to move on because they want to get into the next one. They don't want to get butchered. They don't want to, like, what are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? And yeah, make sure you subscribe to it as well. Subscribe to TJ's channel, man. TJ Warren TV right there as well.
Big up, Lanimus. Thanks, bro.
Do you think Ten Hag had the intention of firing him up, saying that publicly, or more of a last chance warning? No, I think he genuinely just meant what he said and made a mistake. I don't think it was anything other than that. I don't think he was trying to fire up Jadon Sancho. I don't think it was that. I think he just spoke truthfully, because I genuinely believe Ten Hag thinks he didn't train well in training that week, and he could be right. Jadon Sancho could be right. This is why I'm not picking sides. Again, the only criticism I have of Ten Hag is he said this publicly. Don't need to say it publicly. That's what sparked this whole thing. You don't say that publicly, it's now a domino effect. Jadon Sancho says what he says. Then you have the meet. Then he refuses to apologize. Now he's been quote-unquote banished. Like, this is on the manager. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just legit what it is. And in regards to Mohammed, who says, who scapegoated this guy, useless player, he doesn't perform and ain't good enough. That's a whole different conversation. I wanted him sold too, because I don't believe he's good enough for where we're trying to go. However, in regards to the scapegoating thing, he hasn't said what he meant by that. He hasn't came out and said. So that's why I would love to know. For the first time ever, with players making statements, normally I'm like, shut up. I wanted paragraphs. I wanted the Harry Potter novel. I really wanted to know what he meant by being scapegoated. I would love for him to do an interview. Not right now, but I'm saying when he leaves, which will probably be January, and say, this is what I meant by that. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it. So yeah, like I'm all for being professional. But once you're unprofessional, I'm going to be unprofessional. That's just the way it is. No, V1 says, haha, tactical. Did you see who was on the bench over him? Managers can lie. If he says tactical, you ask me a question. What could the manager have said? Tactical reasons. Could have easily have said that. Easily have said that. And then it's not a conversation. Then Sancho don't respond. Don't be unprofessional. For everyone who's on Sancho's case for being unprofessional, why is it okay for the manager to be unprofessional? Somebody answer me that. If we're talking about being professional, how come the manager can be unprofessional and not be respectful? But Jadon Sancho is expected to be the model professional and be respectful. Like, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? Yeah, Keogh, of course. This is it. Sancho was not responding. Would have been an admission that the manager was right. If he felt he was bullied, he have every right to speak, every right to defend himself. And that's to anybody in the chat. If you are called out publicly by anybody, you are well within your right. If you believe they are wrong, to respond. And I'm sure all of you have done that at some point. But we want to hang Jadon Sancho for it. Make it make sense. I understand your point, Flawless, but Pepper's publicly criticized players and their fans accept it. Look at Calvin Phillips and Cancelo. Look at the difference in professionals' behavior instead of feelings. Hear what I'd say to that. Yes, he publicly criticized Cancelo. And guess what? Cancelo then left. Cancelo then got moved on. And
hey, where's Calvin Phillips? Where's Calvin Phillips?
Yeah, and Calvin Phillips don't play. Yeah, he don't play. So in regards to that, forget all that professionalism. I don't like that Pep did that. I think it's wrong of Pep. And if Cancelo or Calvin Phillips responded back to him, I would be saying the same thing. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's Pep, if it's Klopp. Sir Alex Ferguson is my GOAT. If you call out me publicly, I'm going to respond publicly. Simple as that. Forget all this professionalism thing. I don't care if it could be my mom, my dad, uncle, aunt, whoever. If you criticize me publicly, I am responding publicly. I can't get away from that. I can't make it much clearer. I don't know how many times I have to say this. So with the Pep scenario, Pep was wrong for that. He shouldn't have done that, in my opinion. It could have went wrong. It didn't. Cancelo got shipped out. Calvin Phillips don't play anyway. But if either of those two responded publicly, I would have been on their side. I'd be sat here saying the same thing. Hey, yo, Pep, you didn't have to do that. He said Calvin Phillips was overweight, right? He could have told Calvin Phillips that privately. You didn't have to say that publicly. Even if he was right or not, I don't actually know if Calvin Phillips was overweight. He said when Ake scored, actually, I thought it was funny. Every player in the changing room bar one will be happy that he scored. You didn't need to say that. You didn't have to say that. So, yeah, I forget all that about being professional instead of feelings. He's a man first. Defend yourself. Simple as that. Let's see what else. LFC for the double says Pep has apologized to players before. Yeah, we apologized. Someone was talking about the Foden thing and how he called out. There was a game going on and Foden didn't do something from a free kick and Pep went mad at him and then Foden waited for him afterwards. And then he was like, you wouldn't speak to anyone else like that. And then Pep apologized to him type of thing. Managers make mistakes. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Yeah, Prime, this is it. There's a quote what comes to mind when it comes to this. It's okay when they do it. It's a problem when I do it. Fuck them. That's it. So it's okay for Ten Hag to be unprofessional. But it's not okay for Jadon Sancho to be unprofessional. Everybody just be professional and we don't have these issues.
Yeah. And wouldn't you look at the manager to be the first person to be professional?
Yes. I'm looking at your head honcho. Yeah, your head honcho of this team.
Yeah. So yeah, no, and I look at the manager to be the most. You know, you've probably been a manager at your job, Flawless. I am a manager at my job. You have to conduct yourself with a certain level of decorum, right? Absolutely. It's just the way it is. And if you're calling somebody out whether it's unnecessary or necessary, you have to be professional about it. That's just the way it is. And that's the beginning and the end of this. And that's why I don't blame Sancho at all. For those of you just joining in, I don't blame Sancho at all. I'm quiet on this because I agree with every single thing that Flawless is saying. You have to eventually, especially when you are in a sport where your job is consistently on the line. So if you're getting a poor performance and it's getting blasted out to the world, that's going to affect the jobs that you get down the line. So he has to defend himself. Because you know that he probably isn't going to be finishing his career at Man United. Yeah, it's highly unlikely. So you guys have to respect the guy who says, "Hey, no, that's bullshit. I work hard, and I might not fit into this team, but I have the work ethic to fit into another or any other." He's proven it before. So yeah, no, I 100% understand where Sancho's coming from.
We play well at Dortmund as well, so it's kind of like that's what it is. And someone asked me earlier as well, was like, "Oh, would a top team come in for Sancho?" Probably not a top team, but he'd get a move, whether it's back to Dortmund, whether it's somewhere else in Germany, whether it's a team in Spain, whether it's a team in Italy. I can see him going to either of those 3 countries I mentioned, and I think he'll do fine. So there'll be takers for him. There would be takers for him. Top teams, no, I don't think so. But does he get a move? Yes, I think he does. Yeah, Sheik, this is the thing. You says people want to say Sancho hasn't even done anything. Why is he talking? Say where we can say Ten Hag hasn't technically done anything worthy even to be like people, and I hate that people have used that, he's not performing on the pitch, so you can't talk. So because I'm performing poorly in my job, I can be publicly criticized. Where's that in the rule book? Someone show me that in the contract that I signed, that's okay. That you can, if you perform to a certain level, then you can talk back when publicly criticized. But if you performing poorly, which Sancho has, or you can be criticized, nah, forget all that. Don't care if he's performing at a 0 out of 10 or a 12 out of 10. That's not the conversation. Same way I've seen people say, he's professional, he's high profile, he's paid $350K a week. Doesn't matter if it's $350K a week, £350 a week, £3.50 a week. Defend yourself. And that's what he did, and I have no issue with that. No issue with that. What are we talking about, man? Like,
nope.
I don't get it. But final few questions, people, before we do indeed close out. I'm just lost at it. That's what it is. Like Prime said, this is the quote. It's okay when they do it. It's a problem when I do it. And like you said, you would expect the manager to be held to a higher standard of professionalism than than the team. And don't get mistaken, people. I'm Ten Hag in. Ten Hag's my guy. Like, I've backed him. I think the vast majority of the criticism of him is over the top. I think the way he's handled a lot of the situations has been fantastic. When I look at the Maguire situation, the Ronaldo situation, Rashford being late, Garnacho, etc., the way he's changed the team, I like most of his signings, like bar a couple, Mount and Anthony, and I think he's handled most of the situations well. I think he just got this one wrong. I can criticize in isolation. That's why I'm not sat here saying Ten Hag out, get him out of the club. I think he's a terrible manager. No. I think it's just this scenario. Yeah, facts. And I hear you. Prime says depends what you class as a top team. Spurs were linked with him during the summer. Chelsea were rumored their deadline day, and Dortmund want to bring him back in January. Somebody, like, put it this way, Jadon Sancho's not going to have a shortage of destinations. Somebody's going to look at it and go, yeah, because he's young enough. It's not like he's 30-odd and he's peaked. You know what I'm saying? He's 22, 23, something like that. I'm not even sure if he's that old, but he's young enough anyway. How many 100%. Statements we had this international break? Too goddamn many, Mohammed.
I was gonna say more statements than wins was the narrative I saw.
More statements, even the narrative, TJ. That's facts. Hella statements, man. More statements, man. I'm telling you, enough statements. But hey, we move.
Oh, boy.
We'll go to your game. Obviously, you mentioned it earlier, so we'll go to that before we close out. Obviously, you got Everton away, bogey ground for you lot where you don't do well. Lost there last season as well. So I know you said you were confident, but go further into that. What team and what performance are you looking for in that game?
Yeah, so I don't think it's that hard. You got Ramsdale in net. We're gonna start Raya in the Champions League. I think PSV at home. That's when Raya is gonna start. A lot of people are calling for David Raya. That's a whole other conversation. Like I said when we brought him in, I think it's a 1A 1B situation. He will start in the Champions League at home against PSV. But away at Everton. We need the same back four that we played against Man United. So Zinchenko, Saliba, Gabriel, and Ben White. In the midfield, we got Rice, Odegaard, and we're probably going to play Havertz. But who needs to get a start, in my opinion, is Fabio Vieira. I think Fabio Vieira has come off the bench and done very, very well this season. And if anybody had followed me last season, I dug him out pretty much every stream that I saw him play a game last season. This season, he has stepped up, and he's provided 2 key assists in games where we needed him. So I would like to see Fabio Vieira start. Is it going to happen? No, because we have to shoehorn Kai Havertz into every starting 11 until he finally scores a goal, which, knowing my luck, he'll probably score. He'll probably score.
He's going to score in the North.
That's what, yeah. Our boy, yeah, Jez said that. Jacob said that. And I wouldn't be surprised. It's the way of the Spurs, right? So it's the way of the Tottenham. So, but nah, he'll keep getting starts until something happens. So it'll be Havertz, Martinelli on the left, Jesus up top, and I want to see Trossard on the right. We need to stop trying to run Saka into the ground. We need Saka for the long haul, and I don't think we need him to play against Everton. I said that at the beginning. But again, Sean Dyche, he likes to play a low block against us, and a lot of the time it's effective. He did it when he was at Burnley, and he did it when he was and he did it last season when he was doing when he had just taken over at Everton. So he can literally park the bus against us and get a 1-1. A lot of people are saying he's going to do 1-1. He's going to get a 1-1 out of us, which I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be. But Arteta needs. Yeah. Sorry. My score prediction is honestly we should be getting a 4-0 out of this.
What are you saying?
And people are saying whoa, TJ, that's way too much. Have you watched Everton?
Yeah, they're not very good.
They're bad. And if we are truly the team that all these top gooners are saying, and I don't like saying that very often, but all these top gooners are saying that we should be paying these guys 4 or 5-0. That's the expectation that I have. What I think is going to happen is another 3-1. Because, there will always be some sort of weird goal, like Mopai will come out of nowhere and score like he hasn't done anything. Like something dumb like that will happen to us. But yeah, no, I'm fully expecting 3-1 away for us. And then we move on to PSV and obviously Tottenham. So
Fez.
How about you? What do you got for this weekend?
We got Brighton. So again, because it's at Old Trafford and we not perform well, we get results. And we grind out results at home. I'm saying 2-1. I think we get the business done. Is it going to look pretty? No. Is it going to be a good performance? No. Are Brighton going to dominate the ball? Yes. 110% they will dominate the ball. And people will complain about the performance. But I can just see us getting a win. Because we're just resilient like that at Old Trafford. Even as bad as we've been this season, and it is keeping up at Carrington, we're in season 3, episode 7, on our way into season 4. We've actually won our 2 home games. Out of the actual 4 games, we've won our 2. We beat Wolves and we beat Nottingham Forest, even though we did our best not to beat Nottingham Forest, going 2-0 down inside 4 minutes. That's just Manchester United, but resilient. The crazy part is, once we went 2-0 down, like 5 minutes after that, and we started playing, I was like, we're going to win this game. Like, I was confident on the watching, like, all right, we're going to turn this around, and Eriksen backed. And I was like, all right, try to get this equalizer before half-time. We didn't. But then as soon as we got the equalizer, I'm like, yeah, we're going to win this game. Because we played really, like, from conceding the 2 goals up until we scored the 3rd goal. Manchester United played very well in that game against Forest. And then after we scored the 3rd, went to shit. Just typical Manchester United. Really is. And yeah, Black Diamond, I mentioned this. Have I joined the Sarcasm City FPL group? Yeah, I'm in there because I started it. So if you want to join the Sarcasm City TV Fantasy Premier League, let me know. I'll do a video. I actually need to do a promo video tomorrow, so I'll do that. So if you want to join it, let me know. I'll drop the code in the chat as well. I'm so mid in that league right now. It's disgusting. Oh, yeah. I think we've got over. Last time I asked them, because I'm not actually checked it, people, because I don't do Fantasy Premier League. Someone said
there's a lot.
We've got like 30. There was like over 30 people in there. So I was like, all right, that's big. That's big. So if you want to join the FPL, let us know. And to Kai, says, I disagree. Football manager is not your everyday job. World's gone soft. Same things we praise Fergie for. We criticize Ten Hag for. Players used to see the bigger picture. Gaffer's opinion is what counts. All right, here's what I go. So I disagree. Football manager is not your everyday job. I agree with that. It's not your everyday job. World's definitely not gone soft from standing up for yourself. That's the opposite to me. He got criticized and responded back. What do we praise Fergie for that we criticize Ten Hag for? I've never seen Sir Alex Ferguson criticize a player publicly. To my knowledge, and I remember pretty much 90% of Sir Alex Ferguson's reign. So show me 2 questions, Kai. 1, show me where he did that. And 2, what do we criticize Ten Hag for that Fergie didn't? And in regards to Gaffer's opinion is what count. Sir Alex Ferguson had many arguments with many different players. So it's not always the Gaffer's opinion is what counts. You know why? Because managers get things wrong. And Fergie himself admitted that certain decisions, selling certain players, buying certain players, playing certain teams, he called wrong. So he can get things wrong. So this whole Gaffer's opinion is what counts. Not in my book. If you're wrong, you're wrong, and if you're right, you're right. And with the Sancho situation, he was wrong to do that, and that's okay to say so. Yeah, Andy, man, keeping up with Carrington, man. That's what's going on in Manchester United, man. We're on our bullshit.
We'll be on episode 7 by the time I come back on here.
yeah. Season 4, episode 7. It's currently season 3, episode 7. TJ, have you seen the reports of Saka carrying an injury since last season? Do you think this is true? And if so, why hasn't Arteta bought a backup so Saka can be benched and rested?
Yeah, I saw it, and I talked about that, and we were calling out for a backup for a while. My buddy Dal, he was calling out for Diaby, Musa Diaby. Where did he go? You know, he would have been a great option to back up Saka, but instead we're stuck with Reece Nelson and potentially rotating Trossard in there. Arteta is not concerned with Bukayo Saka, that is a problem, and I think once he does get a knock that is going to keep him out for several weeks, we are going to realize how much we miss him. He is out there putting in average performances now, and we're already missing him, even though he is on the field. He was arguably one of our worst players besides Kai Havertz against Man United. He got pocketed for until Dalot slid into oblivion against Jesus. He was having a great game. Yeah, he was pocketing Saka, and you could argue that Saka got pocketed against Crystal Palace too. So is that because of an injury? Possibly. Who knows? Or are people starting to figure out Mikel Arteta? I could see either one, and how he plays Saka. But an injured Saka does Arsenal no good. So why Arteta didn't buy a backup? Anybody could guess. But for several other people out there, Reece Nelson is good enough. Leo Trossard is good enough. For me, it's not good enough. For people with ambition, it's not good enough. So why hasn't Arteta bought a backup? He has way too much. He puts way too much faith in Saka, and he puts way too much faith in his ego, in my opinion. So yeah.
And that's that. People.
We had plenty of. This is what's so frustrating. We had plenty of time. We had plenty of time to get a right wing in this transfer window, and we didn't. And here we are again. Flawless. People are calling us contenders for the Premier League trophy. And here we are again, one injury away from disaster. My buddy Connor, he co-hosts with me on my channel a lot. He brought up a point. We are one injury away at any position from an absolute collapse. Say Declan Rice gets injured, then we have to depend on Jorginho. Yeah, say Zinchenko gets injured, then we have to depend on rotating Tomiyasu and Kiwior. You know, say Odegaard gets injured. Who do we put in there? Fabio Vieira, who, while he has played very, very well in these 2 games coming off the bench, he's not a starter. So, yeah, that's my long-winded opinion on that.
No, that's calm. You know what I'm saying? That's calm. And we are going to close out the show here, people. Don't forget, all the shows on the channel, on the YouTube channel, are available on audio-only platforms. So apart from watch-alongs, of course, so SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, wherever you listen to your podcasts, make sure you type in Sarcasm City TV. That's SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, wherever else. So SoundCloud, make sure you hit us with the follow. Spotify, make sure you hit us with the follow, man. If you listen to music on Spotify and or listen to podcasts on there, make sure you hit us with the follow. 5-stars on Spotify, all you Android users and all you iPhone users as well. iTunes, you know what I'm saying? iTunes, Apple Podcasts as well. I actually got a message. I need to actually check if it's true, but I actually did receive an email saying that the iTunes is doing extremely well in India. You know what I'm saying? We're in like the top 200 of sports in India. That's so, awesome. Hey, to anyone listening, that's fire. You know what I'm saying? I need to check if it's true. But I did get an email saying that. I was like, that's crazy. So big up to everyone listening on the audio platforms. Of course, big up to everyone here supporting on the YouTube channel as well. We have gone over 8K. Make sure you get over to the Kick, though. I've dropped the links in the chat. Get over to the Sarcasm City TV Kick, because that's where you will get other Premier League watch-alongs. Champions League next week is back. So you will get Champions League watch-alongs over there. The Newcastle group. So AC Milan, Newcastle, PSG, Dortmund on Tuesday. That'll be on the Kick. Obviously, this weekend you'll get the Newcastle, Brentford, and what's the Sunday game? There's a late game, Everton, Arsenal. You'll get those 2 over on the Kick, people, as well. So subscribe here. Make sure, like I said, check out all the audio platforms as well. TJ, always great having you on. Let them know where they can find you, what you got coming up, all that good stuff.
Yeah. TJ Warren TV, everybody. Go ahead and go over there and smash the sub, because we have a huge show coming up tomorrow. The one and only Lee Gunner is coming on to the American Idiot Show, 7 p.m. UK time. Slap that sub, slap that notification bell. It is going to be absolutely insane. with Lee Gunner on there. Lee, the last time Lee came on American Idiots, it was absolute jokes. It was rowdy. So yeah, we'll be going. The drinks will be flowing, and we will have the one and only Lee Gunner on there. So 7 p.m. UK time, American Idiots show. Again, Flawless, thank you so much for having me on, bro. Really appreciate it.
Man. Always great having you on this show, man. That's why I always give you a shout. So yeah, TJ Warren TV people. That's TJ Warren and TJ Warren TV. Type that in on YouTube. Go and subscribe as well. Big up to everyone in the chat. Glad you lot have enjoyed the show. Sheik saying great show as always. Sleeping Dragon saying good stuff. TJ as well. Andy saying great show, guys. Thoroughly enjoyed this. We're back. In regards to the show today, Man United podcast, 10:30 p.m. UK time. That's myself and Eddie. So you know that's going to be a good one because Eddie's going to give his whole thoughts on this Jadon Sancho situation.
I'm tuning in for that one.
And he said it in the chat earlier when he was here. He was like, yo, I'm ready for tomorrow.
Cook.
So yeah,
he's gonna cook.
I love to everyone that's locked in. This show will be back, the Manchester United Arsenal show next week. But this has been the Man United podcast. Gonna talk from the Arsenal podcast, Manchester United Arsenal show, live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube. Big up for tuning in. And we're going to raid the Lamb. He's live right now on his, I think it's his NFL channel. So we're going to raid the Lamb. Go type in capital letters Sarcasm City TV raid in the chat. But salute and big up.